Okay, hello all, it's Jalmari from King of Funnel once again, and in this new episode we talk about why it's so hard to learn experimenting online, and that's pretty interesting question because it's super, well, critical stuff to do. So let's go. No, we don't go yet. Now, so there's two challenges. First of all, there's Iceberg Bias. I'm going to tell soon what it is, and then all these growth hack examples that are actually quite an enemy of any kind of successful experimenting, and we can see these a lot when we just go social media, online, Google, whatsoever. Okay, let's go. So first, the Iceberg Bias. This is just, I actually made the Iceberg Bias, made it up by myself. Anyway, so it's just a law of communication that the biggest player in society, they always get attention. And when the growth hacking scene is of course built and ruled by these people from these unicorns like Dropbox, Google, Uber, etc. And these Silicon Valley unicorn companies are of course big players in society because those are disruptive innovations and they have really impact in the lives of all people in Western countries. Now, because of this, these growth hackers, of course, get the media attention, and now the challenge is that we try to emulate them, even it's a different game, and especially different tools. Of course, the most fundamental dynamics are same, but the size difference between unicorn and any kind of normal startup is so huge that the execution is totally different. And now because of this Iceberg Bias, it's this that we see maybe 0.1% of growth hacking scene or startups, and all the rest we present the 99.9%. So we are the big mass, and now we try to kind of emulate and copy the tips and tricks that these big players are doing. And well, why it's rough? Well, because of, okay, so first of all, they have funding hundreds of millions. Here's for example from Dropbox, total funding 1.7 billion. Because of this big size, they have the amount of volume, traffic, data. It can't be compared, and because of this high volume, they can experiment and test unlike things. And also because of these resources, they have dedicated teams for development, A/B testing, data analyzing, etc. So it's in practice it's different. And also the last is that because Silicon Valley is place only for disruptive innovations, and there's like the risk and reward walks in hand in hand. So it's just that the growth mindset is different. Like burning marketing budget is not the threat. The threat is that you just miss the growth window, and it's just like, well, the things how you think and what kind of experiments you afford or you can do is different, and this is also why the tools are different. So just as example, like we are looking this kind of, we are trying to learn from this kind of heavy machinery. Like in this left picture, it's some kind of mining saw in a coal mine in Kazakhstan, and if we just need a pizza slicer, it's kind of same, but at the same time, like we can see that it's not, the tool is different. We can't just switch either of those. Yeah. And now the other. So the first point was that the tools are, the things people are doing are different, and we can't just copy those. And the second one is these examples, well, there's this classic saying, just do like Dropbox did. We all know Dropbox made this growth hack that if they like ask their users that, hey, if you can invite a new user, we will give you we will double your storage size for free, or give I don't know how many megabytes whatsoever for free if you like if you just can refer new users to us. And of course, any kind of sustainable business is not about copying marketing tactics. So is it great advice or maybe super bad, and why it doesn't work? Well, it's this it's just this how the cycle of growth tactic works. And this is wonderful illustration. I have made this by myself, but the original idea is from reforge.com anyway. So when the tactic is discovered, there is some effectiveness, so it works for some time and it can be actually growing. Then at second stage, it's optimized, and after that, it will only decrease all the time. More and more people do the same thing, and at the end, we are some here in the step 4 in tactic fatigue stage, and like we can now understand that if you just try to go and do like Dropbox did, it's not much like it just doesn't work. And if we think about what growth hacking is and what experimenting is, these things like just do like Dropbox did, they get the ratio, how much they get attention, how much it's underlined and highlighted compared to things that actually work. It's the ratio is like ridiculous. Anyway, and I'm now showing you why. So also we have this SEO bias. So in growth hacking, of course, there's a lot of marketers, like all growth hackers are some kind of marketers. So this is the first page result for growth hacking. And like we can see that it's talking about that like growth hacking examples and growth hacking examples. This gives us a kind of understanding that growth hacking equals growth hacks. So that growth hacking means growth hacks, but that's not true. I'm going to explain this. Growth hacking is a damn process, and growth hack is the outcome of this experimenting process that is relatively boring, and it takes, you just need to, just do it for a long time enough. And I'm coming back to this. Anyway, so this is the first challenge here, that all these marketers have been able to SEO rank the articles that are super misleading for this keyword. Okay, hello, it's Jalmari. I'm voice-overing about 1 minute here. There was some issue with the audio at this slide and the next one. Anyway, so I was going to tell next about these growth hack libraries. So yeah, these kind of places can be good if you want to learn marketing, but it's like, you just, once again, you can't go and copy some kind of tactic. Like it says that match CTA to traffic temperature. And if you use it for retargeted customers and you, just change the words, especially because there is not any kind of user experience problem with this. So it's like synonyms. So I'm pretty sure that, there's not just that kind of impact coming. And also the first rule of conversion rate optimization is that this is always, it depends of the context. If someone is saying that, hey, this kind of thing will work, it's probably, it's not true, because it's about your brand, your business, your website, your traffic, your core audience, your whatsoever. So then after that, you can see how it works. Still, you can go in this ladder.io/playbook. They said that, that they have about 700 of these, and it's nice looking site. It's some kind of growth hacking agency. Just seen it. This link has been shared in some kind of social media groups a couple of times. But the point is just, once again, the growth is not about copying things. It's like you can't go, like if there's 700 these kind of things, you can't just go and copy all these and think that your like ROI is just like growing, of course. That's like, yeah, that's like common sense. And also, if someone could say that ROI is 8%, then like if any kind of if there's something that likelihood is 100%, then it's not anymore experimenting. Then it's like a task. Then you just go and do it. Kind of like if you are missing a CTA button on your website, you don't need to test it. It's not experiment. It's just like the fundamental piece of the puzzle. Just go and put it there. Yep. And also the last thing, of course, like even it might work, then it's once again, there's no volume to test it. There's no enough like dedicated testing team whatsoever. So it can't be measured. So you either, yeah. And also, well, like excluding e-commerce, because then e-commerce stores may have like there's so many transactions that this kind of testing can be done. But if it's anything else, it's much harder, especially when you go to B2B, because then it's the transactions are once again much more lower number compared to consumer businesses. Anyway, okay, thanks. So now the reality: a winning growth hack is an outcome of this boring growth process. Okay, so growth hacking is the 24/7 process. It's super boring, and the growth hack is the outcome. And as said, you can't copy these outcomes. Well, it just doesn't work like that. Okay, very simple. I think this one specific slide here, this is the biggest misunderstood in the whole growth hacking scene. Yep. And now, why these examples are so popular? Okay, this is my last slide anyway. So, what's the, like, okay, once again, good story is always, there's a big obstacle and some kind of unexpected solution. So big problem and then some kind of great ending. And this is also the classic story arcs, and it requires oversimplification. And okay, there's typo anyway. And the primal way to impact and lead people has been, of course, telling stories, storytelling throughout all the centuries. And it's effective because it hits emotion. So, good story, you need to oversimplify, and it's easy to tell that, hey, we just ask people to refer friends, and we give, I don't know, free storage, for example, in the Dropbox case. And that really hits your emotion because it's simple enough, and you get kind of feeling of hope, and you don't have any kind of discrepancies in your mind or in the logic behind. And a shitty story is the one that if I would say that, okay, we were just looking the same Excel sheet and following the same process for 2,000 days in a row, and then our business grow. But that's not good story. That's a shitty story. So that's the difference. That's why people tell oversimplified, easy to understand, easy to digest stories, because you get attention, you can sell books, you can sell whatsoever. And the truth behind it is that even in these cases, of course, how for example Dropbox found this? Well, of course they had the experimenting process. Yep. And that's about it. And my main point after all this is just that keep up information savvy mind and avoid the clickbaits, because clickbaits are always the good story, but it doesn't work. You just get clicks. You know what I mean? Okay. And yeah, well, these just last like elements of experimenting process. You can so that you can squeeze out the growth hacks. Here you can see this is my process. If you want to get my free ebook, free guide, you can go kingoffunnel.com/process. It's actually here. Can you see it? Yeah, like this. And there I'm going to show you how all this stuff works together in a case that you are well, kind of a traditional startup without 1.7 billions of funding. Okay, so that was it. The same links there again. Also, if you want, I'm actually on the social media I'm active is in LinkedIn. You can find me with my name. You can follow me or hit connection request and say, for example, that hey, I watched your video and we can discuss more. Thank you for your time, and be safe and good experimenting experiences. Okay, and if you had anything you want to say me, give me any feedback, please let me know, and I'm always willing to discuss more. Wonderful. Bye.